Dyson, what's the craziest purchase you've made so far?
Craziest purchase
Yeah,
right now is
like
nothing.
you
I
bought
bought
something.
I have a Louis Vuitton wallet, but I'd say in the next month we're looking at buying a pretty cool car. Looking at getting a C8.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
we're gonna ball out a little bit, treat
You gonna,
ourselves a little bit.
are you gonna get a little wrap on it?
We go wrap in matte black,
Hell yeah.
Black.
matte black.
How do you describe yourself to like nobody who has any idea who you are, bro?
My name is Dyson Allen. I'm a 19-year-old Amazon seller, and I have a coaching community where I help new people learn how to sell on Amazon as well. We've done over $1 million in revenue to this day. It's been a year and 10 months. Yeah, it's going well.
And this guy is just at the start of his journey. This guy's going to be another titan in this space. Trust and believe. This guy's running warehouses. He actually was the hugest sneaker reseller, one of them in the DMV. So you're in for a epic episode.
I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, bro. What do you say like inspired you to even get into the whole entrepreneurship game, brother?
What inspired me? At first, like I was just a normal kid in school. Like I wanted to buy some cool Jordans and some cool clothes so I can be like everyone else.
Mhm.
And that kind of was like, okay, I can kind of make something out of this. I can make a lifestyle. I can support myself.
Mhm.
And then once I saw that proof of concept, I was like, it's time to go all in.
Got you. So simple, humble stuff, Jordans. So would you say, because you know the guy from Icon, I can't remember his name right now. He's like this from Europe. He talks kind of funny, but he does things crazy. Recently, he rented out a whole yacht for the Grand Prix in Dubai. He did e-commerce, but you're Amazon FBA. So what's kind of like one crazy thing you see yourself potentially doing in the future? Like buying a whole yacht, buying a whole modeling agency. What do you see yourself doing, bro?
Right now, I think the vision in the next 1 to 2 years would be to get really a big whole office headquarters and have like a whole team and staff in house. Because like we have our warehouse right now, we have a couple employees coming in, but like I want to build a full on company.
Legit. Ishmael kind of been hogging the question so far.
Yeah, no worries. Those are good questions, Roy. So Dyson, you're one of the younger people in this industry as well. So what's kind of like the hardest part of like managing success at a young age? Because you know, you're seeing an abundant amount of money at an age that most people are still in school, still kind of like
Yeah.
learning about life. What are kind of like the trap balls other young guys out there should like look out for as they're, you know, getting into any of this money game?
I say it's definitely going to be different. And like when you start making money young, you're going to realize that there's not a lot of people out there like you, and you're kind of going to be an oddball or that black sheep. So realizing that, understanding that, and just being able to accept it. So going off doing your own thing. Like I'd say right now, almost all of my friends are older than me. I have very few friends that are 19 years old that are my age, but the main group, the majority that I hang out with, are like 22 to 26, and it's probably even older than that. Most of them are married, have kids. It's just hanging out with people who are doing different things, have different visions, finding like-minded individuals. That's what you have to do, and surround yourself with that, and you'll have success.
So would you
Man,
say that grounds you?
Definitely, because they also make you realize, like, I used to like want all the materialistic things, the Jordans, the Louis Vuitton belts, all that stuff. But then they made me realize that stuff's really not all that cool. Having a family, having supportive people around you, having good friendships, that's what it's really about.
hey man.
I see that rock star thing in your black. What's the story on that? Like, I'm curious.
Uh, That's actually one of the hand models we're using. Sometimes we use it to take pictures and hold some of the products for some of the brands we promote, like just images. So it's just decoration, really.
Talking about even brands, would you say for you, it's more about, okay, I'm trying to like be like a mogul, be known out in public, or you're trying to build something where it's like, holy shit, like this name is known. And it's like, oh, you just happen to be the founder. How are you trying to like position yourself?
I think right now, and specifically like what we're building, it's more of I'm building this thing and kind of the attention comes with it. It's not really for it's like I don't want everyone to know who Dyson Allen is, but it's more of yes, I continue to build this thing and grow this company and do these cool things that stuff's just gonna come with it and people are gonna know who I am.
Got you. Got you. So as far as even the company and stuff, right now with the fulfillment, you're not necessarily building your own products. You're kind of being a broker in a sense, right?
We still do a lot of where it's just the reselling stuff back on Amazon. Or recently taking a pivot. We've been helping new brands. Like for example, this is one of my partners' brand. It's called Breed Ease. We've been taking brands like this and putting them on Amazon and then helping them scale that way. It's like running their ads, creating their listings, optimizing their titles. Amazon's really just one big search engine. And as you're like searching up, say you're looking for a phone case, right? If you want to find black iPhone case, there's many things you might search up: iPhone 11 case, black OtterBox case. There's so many different ways to get to this particular product. So being able to find all those different ways for a brand, and there's like ads and keyword targeting that we run to make sure that your product pops up top. And there's just so much that goes into it that makes it kind of harder for a beginner to come in and do exactly what I do or what we've been doing. And that's kind of how we separate, and the competition's a lot higher. A lot of people don't get into that nitty gritty side of Amazon. They just want to buy and resell products. They don't know the opposite side that comes into it. There's a whole nother side to Amazon that I've been diving into, and that's kind of where we're shifting. And that's where I see this long-term go.
Actually, I like that because that's more like a private equity play. You're kind of like a curator. So it's like you're a tastemaker. It's like, these like are my friends, but not just my friends. It's like, these are things I probably use. So it's like, how do I say, are you like kind of going to be like that tastemaker? Like, here are like the quality stuff you should be using. And you put like the force of like your capital, your team and stuff behind that.
I'm finding products and brands that I see solve a problem. Like, this is a lung detox gummy. This is a Shilajit. It actually makes your dick grow bigger. But I'm finding these weird different niche products and helping them launch on Amazon and then taking a revenue share. And so I'm just putting the knowledge and the systems and the teams together, and then it just turns cash.
What's crazy is I use that. It looks the same, but I think I use a different labeled. Cause I use BetterAlt, but everything about the packaging looks exactly the same.
That's one of our
Except
direct
for-
competitors.
You know what? Next time I'll go to you guys. I'll hit you.
Hey, buy native rims. Buy native rims.
Native rims.
So how do you guys separate from the competition? Because Amazon is known for like copycats. How do you guys like get above that?
Well, I'd say we've been taking a pivot because the e-commerce world is changing so fast. We're trying to diversify. So most people, it might just be like putting on Amazon and running some ads. We're trying to get traffic from TikTok Shop. We're working on getting listed on Walmart. We're even putting our stuff on eBay. We're listing on all platforms and trying to master it all, because we haven't seen anybody really do that yet, especially in my space. They might know TikTok Shop or know Amazon or know dropshipping, but nobody has really mastered it all. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Got it. So you know Tabs, the sex chocolate?
Yeah. I've seen them all over.
Exactly. So kind of like a move like that where it's like you create like those brands where it's like, oh, everybody uses it, but it's not beholden to like one platform.
Absolutely.
I like it. And as far as even content strategy, would you say you're kind of using that take approach where it's like you have a bunch of affiliates promoting this stuff, or you're kind of more macro-managing, or it's like, nope, we have this and this is the specification I want? How are you kind of like doing it?
We've definitely been going the affiliate route. It's been one thing I've learned, especially over the past years. I've been trying to do everything myself. And recently I've just realized that this is too big of a project and I have too big of a vision to be trying to do it myself. I've been trying to outsource and get extra help and try to build a team to help build this thing.
Just real quick, you said vision. So what is kind of like your vision right now? Could you share that with us?
The vision is to be able to take almost any brand or any product and successfully launch them, help them turn revenue. So really just to master selling on all platforms online. And say you had a product that you wanted to launch, you could come to me and we can successfully help you launch it.
When you set your goals, do you set goals of I want to achieve X, like in terms of I want to make $1 million, or is it more like I want to conquer this skill and I want to get really good at a skill, and then whatever amount of money comes with it comes with it? Which way do you put the horse in the carriage?
It's definitely been skill building for me right now. Learn as much as I can, grow as much as I can, and the money will come with it. Versus at the beginning, like when most people start entrepreneurship, I say they get into it, it's like, I just want to make 10K a month, or I want to make 20K a month. But as you start to progress, you realize that it's not really about the money. It's about who you become to get it, and also who you're building it with and what you're doing, the impact that you have. So much more comes, and the money just follows behind it.
Hell yeah.
So as far as even building your skills, man, like how you're specifically doing that, because I know a lot of people who probably are listening to this. It's like, okay, skills like mentors, books, or just trying stuff and failing and learning.
I did a lot of trial and failure, but I say switch it up now. But at first, you just have to get in the field and try things, fail. But there's so much free game. There's mentors out there. There's books that if you try something and it doesn't work, you don't just keep repeating the same thing. Try, and then when you fail, find somewhere to get the answer or find somewhere to ask a question. And that's where I found all my success at.
So for you specifically, if you were like to bring it back to somebody who was just starting out and it's like, okay, I want to be you right now, Dyson.
Mhm.
What's like the thing I should learn right now or focus on? And I'm at the start of my journey, probably working a job and don't really have much vision for my life. But I'm like, man, I got to make money. I want to be like actually providing value to the world.
I would say the first thing that you should learn is sales, because that's actually kind of where I got my start. I started out reselling sneakers. I was doing door-to-door sales, actually knocking, trying to sell roofs. It's like those same skills I've seen have transitioned to Amazon and to networking. As I'm talking, I'm putting together all these deals. Sales teaches you everything about business.
Could you expand on that?
Like, for example, Ismail has been setting on a Amazon FBA offer. Even just in the time that he's been doing it, he's learned so much about Amazon. It might pique his interest. And even in the future, he may think about starting. It's like, I started out just reselling sneakers. I was doing that, but it introduced me to so many other little parts of business. And I kind of found what I liked and didn't like. I kind of like being on camera. I kind of like making content. I'm not too much of a numbers guy. But you think it'd be different. But I kind of find what I like and didn't like through sales and build my business around that.
And I'm kind of curious because as you're growing now, you've probably hit the point where it's not just about survival now. How are you like prioritizing your time to just focus on your zone of genius and delegating stuff to people who, quite I say, could help with the other stuff? How are you doing that?
That's really been hard, and that's something I struggle with, time management. But recently, I've been trying to block out my day. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is make a to-do list of what I have to get done, and I write it down, and then I rank it by the most important task to the least important task. And I just start hard writing them, getting it done. I set out schedules for meetings, and I set aside time every day for like, this is my planning time. This is just my just work and me time. Like, nobody come bother me during this hour. Phones on, do not disturb. David Goggins has this thing that he calls like mental health stations or mental aid stations, where he sets apart places where he doesn't worry about anything else. And I feel like for me, there's so many moving parts and so much stuff going on that, like, I have to give my time to adjust myself sometimes to do what I need to do, or else I'd get drowned out by everything else that's going on.
Do you have like a morning or like nighttime ritual that you kind of like follow most days?
I actually don't. I try to get up and run, hit the gym most mornings, at least by like 7, 8 o'clock, but there's no meditation or no sleep schedule or anything like that.
I think that is like when everybody gets into self improvement, you add like a bunch of shit. Yeah, does it really matter? Yeah.
I went through my morning run, cold plunge phase, and then I realized like that's not me.
How long did you do the cold plunges for? You know how like a lot of people are like, oh, it's like the best thing in the world, 6 hours of energy.
No, I was doing it for like around 40 degrees for about 2 minutes. And don't get me wrong, it's freezing cold. It's a struggle, but I didn't see all the benefits and everything that everyone claimed that it would give. This has been a 10x because of it.
For a beginner who's like looking to start, and there's probably going to be a huge learning curve. Who you say is the first place you'd say, all right, if you really want to get into this Amazon game, where should you start?
There's so much game on YouTube that it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like there's so much knowledge out there that people just give away for free. I post stuff on my tube. I have tons of friends who do the exact same. If you want to start an Amazon business or any business at all, the information's out there. And then along with YouTube, that just teaches you Amazon when it comes to branding and marketing and how you should show your products. Go look at other brands who are doing the exact same thing as you, the competitors who are successful, and understand why they're doing it. Because that's also how I learn, just by looking at others around me.
I think that goes with becoming good at anything. Would you agree, Ishmael, even with sales and stuff?
Yeah, I think just about any skill in the world, almost anything that you want to do, it's the same couple steps you have to take, and a lot of it is just repetition and time and energy. But I feel like that's also where a lot of people mess up too, is they get impatient, especially in like our current generation. Because even if you look up Dyson on Instagram right now, right, I'm gonna look up and my mind is gonna shoot teenager making $1 million in revenue on Amazon, but I'm not gonna look at, oh shit, Dyson started door to door sales like 2 years ago and he's really selling sneakers. And in my
4 to
head,
5 years ago.
4 to 5, my bad. Like, it's been a long journey, but in our head, we shorten other people's journey. And then because of that, we want to condense our own timelines a lot and we don't want to put in the time. But sales, Amazon, working out, whatever it may be, you have to really like step back and be like, yo, this isn't something I'm gonna crash course for the next couple months. If I want to do this, I'm doing this.
Yeah. I watch a lot of Alex Hormozi, and one thing he says is, if you're starting something and you expect it to take 10 months, go ahead and double it. However long you think it's going to take, go ahead and just 2x it. That's how long it will really take you.
You achieved a lot of this super young, 19, right? And then there's a lot of, how to say, misinformation, especially in the public school system. How do you kind of describe your school experience and how you made the most of your time while you were super young to get that head start?
I'd say my school experience was a lot different than everyone else's. I played sports all throughout high school. And I was the kid in the back of the class, wasn't really paying attention. I made good grades, but I never really was interested in school. And like I'd be back there still on my computer, buying sneakers or trying to build businesses. I remember I was trying to build a website design company my senior year of high school. I was doing that in the back of class, like during class, never paying attention. But you just kind of see that everyone else around you is doing something different, and school's kind of teaching you and pushing you in a path to push their agenda. But when you have something that you want to do that's different, they kind of just pushes you away, and eventually it comes to a divide. And I went to college. I did a year of college, and I kind of remember when I decided, okay, school's not for me anymore. I'm sitting in college. I'm on my phone. I was doing online arbitrage for Amazon, and I had made like $3K one day while sitting in class. And I was like, if I can make $3,000 in the past hour that I've been sitting, it's like the most money I've ever made at the point in time. I'm like, if I can do this while sitting in class, maybe college or this whole thing isn't for me. I should be doing something else. And that's when I kind of went back to my room. I sat down like, I need to make this decision and go all there. This is what I'm going to do.
I like that courage because a lot of people don't have it. I probably could imagine that conversation either with your mom or your dad. How was that? How was that?
That was very different because I had a full ride scholarship to the school I was going to. I was playing Division II basketball. They thought I'd made it. I had this path. I'm going to go to college, get a great job, be an engineer, and I'll be good. So when I kind of told them, you know what, I want to drop out of school and sell dildos on Amazon.
Wow.
You can imagine how that conversation kind of went.
Yeah.
It wasn't good, but they understand it now. Now that I've built the business and they've seen the success. But like any parent would, they obviously had their doubts, and they weren't hyped about it at the beginning. But I'd say they've come to their senses more now that we've created something successful.
How long did that take?
It took about a year and a half. So they just started coming around to see that. Okay.
Was it after they saw the money, or was it kind of one of those things like, Dyson is set in this, he's being successful, and at least he's, he's not doing anything wrong. So like they accepted it, or was it more of a, okay, he's made like X amount of money, this guy's serious?
It was more of a they just had to accept the thing. They kicked me out of the house when I dropped out of school. I was on my own. I had to figure it out. And I say the past 12 months has just been straight grind. It's been an interesting year. We built it.
So would you say that even made you more hungry because you didn't have the safety net of mom and dad?
Oh yeah. And I'd say I went to survival mode for a good 7 to 8 months. Like I just started to be able to like lean off and have a little more fun. So I moved to Austin, Texas. But when I was back in Virginia, it was 16-hour days of just work, nothing but work.
Could you like go more into that phase? Because I feel a lot of people try to skip that and don't realize that's what gives the lifestyle on Instagram. Describe a typical day for you. You got up, what was that routine? What were you like doing?
Typical day of like second semester of college, I decided, okay, I'm not coming back here again. I'm going to drop out once the semester's over. I kind of was just using college as free living. I'd wake up probably 7 to 8 a.m. I'd go to the gym in the morning just to get a quick workout, go to the warehouse, and I'd start sourcing. This is at the point when I was starting to learn this brand exclusive stuff, helping new brands launch on Amazon. So I was doing that alongside arbitrage. And I spent about 3 to 4 days I had an online course and YouTube videos, and I'm in a ton of different Discord communities. So I was just like surrounding myself with guys who are doing the same thing and we're talking, just trying to learn it. And that's the first 4 to 5 hours of my day. And then I'd rush package all my orders before the post office came. If I had shipments coming out, I pushed the shipments. And then I'd go back to my dorm room. I just work on the computer some more. I didn't really do much. That was my life. All I did was just Amazon for a long time. I didn't have fun. I didn't have friends. I didn't spend a lot of money. I didn't go out to eat, but I did it. A lot of people don't understand, like I've been through more than the past year than a lot of people have in a lifetime. And I've seen a lot and done a lot. So it's been interesting.
What's kind of like the mindset behind that? Because 16-hour days, that's hard at any age. I know people who are like in their 50s who have never in their life worked 16-hour day. So to
Yeah.
be able to do that for almost a year consecutive, where did you find that stamina? Where did you find that momentum? Was it like motivation? What's going on in your head in that year?
I think in that year, you get into a mode where you realize that you kind of just you have to survive and you have to make something. And then I really just got into an autopilot. I was just doing things and not even thinking about it. Like I just woke up and automatically knew, okay, we're going to work on a business today. There's nothing else going on. It's like I kind of just understood that this is the period of life that I'm going through. This is what I have to get done. And there's no excuses. We just have to do it and just push through it and made it work. I would say I burned out, especially when I moved to Texas and I realized how much more there was to the world besides just work. I definitely had burned out and I took a little down period, a little break, but I quickly got back into it.
So what are you doing now, like in terms of workload?
Now we're probably 10 to 12 hours a day, but we do have a lot more personal life mixed into it. But we do have a good balance now. And that's a hard word for a lot of people, especially when they first start entrepreneurship. They're trying to find balance, but at the beginning, I think there shouldn't be any balance.
The good side of like locking in, you develop like competence. You become really good at what you're doing. But kind of the downside, it gives you this mindset when you go back into regular society, you feel kind of like an alien. Because I don't know if you had this experience where you go out to a mall and you're like, oh, people just look weird or I feel different. It just doesn't feel normal because you just been like in the house, just working. And it's like, you're like, fuck, everybody's kind of like living average. All right, back to work. I don't know if you had that.
You definitely start to see things a different way. And especially when you were cheated young. And if I go back home and I try to hang out with like my friends from back home, some of my old basketball teammates, like it's cool. We still have that connection. But you start to realize like you're kind of just doing different stuff and like you said, on a different wavelength and you care about different things. There's definitely a change. And everyone goes through it. Some people do, some people don't. So I won't say everyone, but it comes to a point where you kind of just wake up and realize it's time to take that next step.
Before we move on from that, I just want to highlight how important that really is too, to recognize that you're different than most people and that being okay. But you'll see this as you get older too, Dyson. People's priorities really don't get that much better. People really stay stuck on like this whole partying. They want to pop bottles. They just want to show off. They do that in moderation.
Yeah.
But our society's at a point where people want to do that every single weekend and weekday and every holiday, and their entire life just becomes like pieces of connecting small amounts of dopamine and stringing it together. And they just go day to day to day, doing the bare minimum in their work, in their life, in their, in their finances. And
Mm.
then on the weekend to spend all that they made during the bare minimum to get this little dopamine high.
Yeah.
And it's really because they're unfulfilled, because they're not doing, because I think you're, working a 16-hour day. Yes, it sounds hard. Yes, it's boring. But long term, you said it, you have higher priorities now. You're thinking like a family man at 19. And that's so important. That's
And
so key. It's something that's lost in our generation.
you feel purposeful. When I started that business and I went to that 12 months of like just locked in, I actually did like a dopamine detox to the monk mode where I deleted TikTok, I deleted Instagram, I deleted Snapchat, I deleted all social media. And the only content I consumed was based around Amazon business and mindset. Stop scrolling on TikTok, stop scrolling on all that stuff. Just fully lock in and you can almost achieve anything.
How long did you do that for, the dopamine detox? Because I've been thinking about starting off like my next year with that.
I did that for about 4 or 5 months until I started posting content and I needed to do it for the business. But even now, I cut back on the scrolling. If I'm not posting content, I try to stay off the social media apps.
Would you say throughout this journey, you experienced a lot of failure where you kind of doubted yourself a lot? Or would you say you kind of had that initial win and it kind of kept you going? And how would you describe the journey?
I've tried and failed a lot. Amazon was not my first successful business. One thing that I'd say shaped my mindset was when I was in high school, let's say 15, 16. I remember my best month, I was making like $20,000 a month selling sneakers. So like I'd made good money and then I lost it all. I lost all my money in sneakers. I was like one of the biggest sneaker sellers in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I supply a lot of sneaker stores and I lost that all. And I gained some back in crypto and NFTs and I lost it all. I've had so many wins and losses that when I lose now, it's kind of just like, okay, just keep pushing, keep moving forward. You just don't let it affect you at a certain point.
Not a lot of people get to get those high highs, low lows quite rapidly in a span of a few months or a few years.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna ask you to kind of go deeper in like that mindset. Because like say right now, we took all your money from you. What would you be doing right now to get back up to say like 5 grand or whatever, rebuild that up?
I've definitely thought about it because I've seen that happen to people in the Amazon space. And it's like right now, if I lost everything today, if I had to get it back, I'd probably continue doing what I was doing, to be honest. That sounds cliche, but I'd just continue to sell courses, sell knowledge. I'd help brands continue to launch on Amazon. And I think that that'd be the most risk-free way for me to, or easiest and fastest way for me to get out of any type of debt or if I lost everything today.
And then so far, Dyson, if you feel comfortable sharing, what's kind of in your short life, what do you think's been your lowest point so far? And what did you learn from it?
My lowest point was probably in high school, which is kind of crazy. This is senior year of high school. I'm playing basketball, starting point guard. I started to get a little bit of traction. Dream is to go to college and play basketball. And my businesses were making money. This is the time when I was doing NFTs and it was going pretty well. And I kind of didn't really tell anybody about this, but I tore all the ligaments in my ankle. So my senior season was almost completely shot. That's when I kind of had the first flash of like, okay, basketball's probably gone here. And my sneaker business had already started. It had died down. And I had about like $15,000 saved up left. That was like doing the NFTs, crypto, just trying to find any sort of business to make money. And I had someone scam me and in the NFTs. And I went all the way down to like my last 2K. And so at this point, basketball season's over. I'm injured. I don't have any money to my name. My grades aren't that good in school right now because I just been so focused on everything else. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like I was lost. I didn't, I was out partying, drinking, smoking, just doing whatever. And then I was like, all right, I need to lock in. Like, this isn't the way to go. I really don't want to go to school anymore. I don't want to go to college. And that's when I started Amazon. And I saw that little success and I started building the business. It was going well, but not well enough to really live on my own or drop out of college or anything. So I went to college. And then, like I said, that story earlier, when I was sitting in class, made $2,000. That's when I had that conviction of, let's go.
You briefly said it. You're like, "Yo, I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in." Was there like a specific sequence of events that like happened? Was there like a specific day where you're like sitting there, like, "Man, this is not it," or like what was like the spark to that flame?
I don't kind of remember that spark. I think it was more of a feeling on the inside building up of this isn't how I want my life to go. Like this may be the path that my parents or the people around me are choosing what they want to do, but this is what I want to do. And this is how I want to be known. So that realization, that switch, and also the realization of everyone's not your friend and I don't have to really listen to what everyone else is saying. It's kind of had to turn that selfish mindset on of I got to do this for me and the best thing for me in this position.
Say somebody's going through that moment right now and they're in the pit of despair. You're telling them, bro, just lock in. They probably can't hear you right now. What would you kind of go back and like be like, bro, if you do X, X, and X, I promise you, future you is gonna be so fucking grateful you did that. What would you say to them?
If you choose one business model, go on YouTube, just look up best side hustles 2024. You choose any business model you see, there's gonna be a ton of videos come up, choose one and decide this is what you're gonna do. You stop going out, stop spending money on dumb stuff, don't buy that new pair of shoes, don't buy anything, and really just choose one thing that you're gonna give 1 year. Not even 1 year. If you give 6 months to it, you'll see some sort of success. And I feel like that's all most people need. Most people operate out of fear and they just need one sort of success or one thing to let them know that, okay, this is okay if they do that. And then they'll go all in. I just need you to dedicate 6 months to getting that one success. And then you'll realize that this could be something life-changing or that you can change your life. And I think I've seen a lot of people do that. And I've told a lot of people to do that. And I've watched them change their life because of it.
So 6 months to greatness.
I think 6 months is all it takes to completely change your mind and change your life.
What's step one? Just you said to go to YouTube and find the hustle, and then
Step one is first of all realizing that the situation you're in right now is some shit and that you need to make a change. So step one is looking yourself in the mirror and realizing that you're not where you want to be.
I could see the shades of David Goggins in the fight thing. I love David Goggins too. Some of the stuff is like I could see like mirroring off of you from him.
I definitely I changed the content I intake a lot.
Because personally, David Goggins is like my like I don't want to say like my hero, but like
Mhm.
we can't, as you grow up, you still have these people that I don't want to say idolize anymore because now that I'm older, I don't idolize another man. But there's people that you look up to, people you draw inspiration from. Is David Goggins your biggest as well?
He's one of them. There's a few people that I watch pretty religiously: David Goggins, Alex Hormozi, Ahmad Godzi, and Luke Belmar. I'd say I watch pretty religiously. I watch them often. And like I said, it's not really idolizing them. I don't see them as idols, but more of I admire their story and I can relate. I think when someone has nothing and you see them be able to build something, I'm able to relate to that story. And a lot of other people are really able to relate to that story. I think why that's part of the reason those guys have a lot of success because they've actually seen it and been through it and have done something and understand what it's like to go through change.
For each of them, I'm kind of curious because all of them are kind of different because like Hormozi is just straight business.
Yep.
Iman is kind of like this, how do I say, oligarch, rich mega guy like lifestyle. Luke is kind of consciousness, yada, yada, yada. So what do you say is the thing you take from each of those guys and how you implemented that in your life?
Definitely, definitely. That's one thing I focus on is kind of taking especially since I have older friends, I take the bits and pieces of everyone. I take the best parts of everyone and I try to mirror those characteristics onto myself. David Goggins has more of a fuck it, get it done mentality. Let's make no excuses. While I take that approach and I put it towards my business or towards the way that I act, Luke Belmar still has that more of that wise, that calm approach. Let's think things out. Let's make the most logical decision. And Alex Hormozi is more business minded. He just wants hard growth. If I'm able to take the best pieces of everyone and combine them, and I have this vision of myself, if I just work towards that person every day, get a little bit better every day, then I can be the fucking greatest.
So do you have this like on a vision board type of thing, like a document, or is it just like in your head?
It's something definitely in my head. There's a mindset, a vision, a goal that I want to achieve that I just see being there one day, and I just work every day towards that goal.
Yeah, are you like considering ever like looking into school games or into school as a platform to
Uh,
expand what you do?
I have a community of we run ours on WAP. I've looked at school before. Personally, I didn't like the interface and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with school at all. I think that communities are definitely the next biggest thing, especially in our online e-commerce space, because people like to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. So school communities, I think that's something big and definitely on the rise.
So Prime Profits on Instagram. I'm assuming they can find your WAP to Instagram if anyone wants to start making money through FBA, FBM.
Through Amazon, we can help you out. It's so much more cool to see everyone else around me winning and making money. I've had students who are like in similar positions to me, and now they're able to, move out of their parents' house, have their own thing. I have a student getting their own warehouse right now. It's pretty cool.
Being a setter on the Amazon side, the amount of people who I hop on the phone with who are like, yeah, my best friend figured it out and he will not tell me how to do it. So I need to go to you to pay you, X amount of money to teach me how to do this now. Even though I have someone like, in my head, I'm
That's
like, yo,
nice.
like that's not your best friend if they won't even point you in the right direction. I'm not telling you, it's saying like, your best friend should do it for you, but
Yeah.
it's nice that you give people the option, like, hey, like I figured this out. I'm willing to help you out, help you learn it. I'm not gonna be greedy about it. I'm not gonna hide my blessings.
There's enough money to go around. There's so much money to be made in this online world. That's the thing. And there's not a crazy amount of competition either, because half men are lazy.
Talking about that, I know you touched on it earlier, the environment and the people you surround yourself with. Already says the biggest difference you notice moving out your parents' place, leaving Virginia, going to Austin.
It's actually massive, and it's something I didn't realize until I went back home for spring break. And that's kind of insane to think about, but everyone here is driven. They're all ambitious. They're focused on money, but at the same time, everyone's willing to help each other. There's enough money to go around. I don't know, there's just a complete different type of people out here, I'd say, in Austin. But it's kind of finding that you realize good people is more important than just the money,
Yeah.
and money comes with it. People do a lot of work together here. They want to work on stuff together, build business together. I think that sense of almost brotherhood is very special, especially when it comes to business. If you find someone that you can build something with, it's so much easier. You get so much more done, and it's so much more fulfilling than just doing it for yourself. There's even days where it's like I don't feel like doing anything. It's like, bro, I'm gonna wake up. I'm just gonna lay in my bed. Like I'm not working today. But there's a group of guys behind me. It's like, yo, Dyson, we're going to film content today. We're going to make this happen today. It's like, all right, well, fuck, we got to get stuff done. It's that extra push that you need sometimes to to really grow.
And honestly, Dyson, one thing that I really want to compliment you on is you know how to like vocalize and like speak for yourself very well at a young age. That's an impressive thing, man.
I
Not a lot of
appreciate it.
19-year-olds can carry themselves like that.
Thank you.
So, guys, I do have a sales call, so unfortunately, I do have to run.
Go
But
close.
this is an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to connecting with you again in the future.
For sure. I'm down.
Sounds good.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, Dyson.
Alright. Have you guys seen the new Lamborghini, the electric one, the Revuelto that just came out?
Oh,
No, they
Couple
do
hours.
have an electric Lamborghini, bro.
They just released a new one. It's pretty cool. It looks interesting. It doesn't look like anything Lamborghini normally produces, but
the Lamborghini Revolt. Oh,